Thank you, Alex. Steve Bunin up at the breaking news desk once again. This coming in just within the last few minutes from the Associated Press. The state of Washington's Supreme Court ruling that the death penalty violates Washington state's constitution. In the AP story, again, this just broke minutes ago. This is the latest state makes Washington to do away with capital punishment. Governor Inslee at one time supported it, but has previously declared that he will issue no executions while he is in office. And this ruling was in the case of a murder from back in 1996. The lawyer of the convicted arguing that the death penalty is arbitrarily applied, not proportionally as the state constitution requires. And as of this morning, the state Supreme Court is tossing out our death penalty. We'll have much more of this online and on TV throughout the morning and throughout the day on King 5 Mornings and King 5 News.